The non-compliant will be punished, and girlfriend, you better recognize.
Tonight that we got the truck, we're going downtown, gonna beat up the drunks. You're gonna drive, I'll bring the...
Hola amigos, this is your local comic book mustachio coming to you with a review of Image Comics' Bitch Planet #1 from writer Kelly Sue Deconnick and artist Valentine De Landro. Before jumping into this review, I just want to say a few things. One of those is that this amigo is not feeling too well. He's homesick today. He's not doing too good. Normally, when I do my reviews, I speak for about 10-15 minutes at a time. No edits, no cuts or anything. Today, I may need to stop in the middle of recording and move to a different place inside of my house just to kind of catch a breath. And if I'm losing focus or anything, please forgive me. I really want to do some reviews today. They're already late enough as it is, today being Wednesday. But I have not felt very well, and I do apologize. So keep that into consideration when watching this. Next, I want to talk about Image Comics. This year, we have seen Image knock shit out of the park. It is pretty ridiculous. I find my weekly pull list diminishing as far as titles from the big two that I've been picking up, just so I can make room for new Image series. Not only am I still keeping up with the ones that started last year, books like Saga and Sex Criminals and all that stuff, books that are my favorite titles released in Funny Books, but there's just more and more #1s coming out. It's hard to keep up with. We're lucky that they're pretty affordable. Very seldomly do we find the $4 price tag that we find on pretty much every Marvel book at this point, and most of the DC books that are worth reading. Also, when the trades come out, they're only $9.99, making it really easy and accessible for anyone to jump right on board with Image Comics. So not only are they affordable, all these creators are flocking towards Image. It's not like it was in the 90s when they're going there to make a buck and get away from the big two. They're going there to tell stories that you couldn't tell anywhere else in the world in any other medium other than comic books and other than at a place like Image Comics, where creativity is really embraced, and we are seeing a great result. 2014, we've seen so much released, and I have faith that 2015 we're going to see even more from Image. And, you know, Marvel and DC, you know, I'm not saying these companies have to watch their back. They probably still own the marketplace. But, you know, watch out. Don't mess with Image. Hold on to your creators, because if you treat them poorly, there's a place really close that they can work in the same field and do whatever the hell they want. So give them a little bit more freedom, Marvel and DC, because creators can run away very easily and make just as much money and actually own their properties. A big thing that we've seen recently. Robert Kirkman owns all of The Walking Dead, and now it's making all this money, and all that money's going towards him, as opposed to characters being created, like we just saw Daisy, that hero Quake from Civil War and Marvel Comics, being introduced into Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the cinematic universe, and Brian Michael Bendis is probably not getting a dime for that, even though he created her. So, I'm going to open up my Fourth World Comics and Toys bag so we can take a look at this book. I'm shaking my head because I love that they were able to get away with this. This is Bitch Planet #1 from Kelly Sue Deconnick and artist Valentine De Landro. Kelly Sue Deconnick is an acclaimed writer. She works for Marvel. She's been doing Captain Marvel, really the one responsible for bringing Carol Danvers to the forefront, giving her the title Captain Marvel after all of these years. She has a huge following over there with that character, the Carol Corps. If you've been to a convention or you're into comics and you go on the internet and you see that hashtag Carol Corps, those numbers are strong. And it's not just ladies, it's men too. But specifically with the ladies, she is giving a really, really unique and intelligent voice to not only women and female characters and portrayals in comics, but women's role in creating comics. Last week I did a review of The Secret Six. I was not so crazy about that, but Gail Simone's another one of those writers who's very much an advocate of females in comics and female creators in comics. And while I have very mixed feelings on Gail Simone, which I had mentioned last week, and I got a lot of love and hate in the comment section, all of it was appreciated. But it's pretty much universally, we're pretty much universally all in love with Kelly Sue Deconnick as a person, as a writer. She produces amazing content that's not just focused on females. She writes men too, but she's a great voice for women in comic books and as a spokesperson for female creators in comic books, which makes you start to think, why would she do a title called Bitch Planet? Bitch is a very derogatory term towards women, so to have a strong female voice like Kelly Sue writing a title called Bitch Planet makes you start to question things. This is the point where I pause because I'm having trouble breathing. In a sec, we'll take a look at the book. Okay, I'm back. I caught my breath, so let's see how long I can do this without taking another break. I do apologize again. I am not feeling very well, but I really enjoyed this book so much. I feel it's so important that I am suffering to bring you, hopefully, something that you find enjoyable. And if you haven't picked up the book, highly suggested from this amigo. So let's get down to it. Deconnick is very proven as a writer, especially when coming to writing strong and fully realized female characters. That hits a whole new level when it comes to this book. Her narrative kind of focuses on a pretty dark future where the females of Earth, who are considered non-compliant by this kind of totalitarian government, are shuttled off to a penal colony on a different planet. It kind of looks like it's almost like a reality show, and kind of feels like a 70s exploitation movie meets Oz. When I worked at a video store and hung out there as a kid, we had a ton of movies like Women in Cages, and I think it's called The Big Big Dollhouse, where we see sexy bikini-clad babes imprisoned, a lot of girl gang movies. I think Pam Grier did a couple, where you get to see these hot ladies kind of duke it out. That's what we get here. I'll show you a couple pages of what it's like, and we see them trying on their uniforms when they're first shuttled off to the planet. Down here, she says, I'm not going to fit in that. And we see the guards brutally treating the prisoners. It's not just to say that the guards are also the brutal ones. The prisoners are especially brutal as well. We see female gangs formed. There's a lot of twists in this issue that I did not see coming. Definitely enjoyable read. Kelly Sue is a sharp writer. She really knows what she's doing. She's got a great handle on characters and dialogue, and it is really shown in this issue. Again, not feeling so hot, so I'm going to take another break, jump right back, and we'll take a look at the art. The art in Bitch Planet from Valentine De Landro is eerily simplistic in the best way possible. Check out this totally rad spread. Although it's a science fiction series, it also has a lot of very human elements, considering that the majority of the events and the action in the book don't take place in outer space, but rather within this female prison. It's another very impressive page. Some rather unique panel layouts without getting too crazy, but they're not too simple either. Rather straightforward grids. I love panels like this, where there's not a ton of background, but what we see in the foreground and the action that's actually taking place is really front and center. It makes the art super focused. Here's a big one right here where we see the ladies going nuts on the prison guards. Yeah, the art is super focused. It really helps out the issue and matches the extremely sharp and witty dialogue and actions of Kelly Sue perfectly. Bitch Planet's a lot of things, but most of all, it is an excellent comic book. Kelly Sue being known as a strong female voice, not only for comic book characters and series, but also for female creators inside of the industry. Seems kind of weird that she would do an exploitation film, a comic that mirrors exploitation films so much that we're kind of almost looking down on women because it was kind of just to show how sexy and sell to men because it's so erotic. I don't think we have a lot to worry about as far as that. In the back, there's one of the best things about Image Comics is the essays written in the back from creators. Kelly Sue does a nice little page where she's actually introducing Danielle Henderson, an acclaimed feminist author and teacher. And then Henderson actually does the essay in the back about feminism and about exploitation series like this. So if you are worried about how it portrays women and everything, please read the essay in the back by Henderson. Again, I'm not feeling very well, so it's hard for me to go into detail about it. Henderson did write this wonderful book that I keep next to my bedside just to cheer me up, The Feminist Ryan Gosling. Everyone should own this book. It's really wonderful if you're into the Hey Girls and just kind of like looking at Ryan Gosling's face as much as I do, and I hope the rest of the world does. Again, I apologize about how I'm feeling. I would have loved to have gone into a ton of detail about Bitch Planet, and I probably will in the weeks to come as I do the Best of 2014 show, because I feel Bitch Planet #1 from Image Comics was one of the strongest debuts of the year and one of the most enjoyable experiences that I have had reading a comic in a very long time. It's wonderful to see a series like this come to fruition. And again, Image Comics knocking it out of the park again. It's something that we have to look forward to for 2015, and it's a kind of book we as comic book fans should really embrace. It's a ton of fun. So, I'm going to give Bitch Planet #1 4 sombreros. If you're interested in reading comic books like Bitch Planet #1 from Image Comics, go to your local comic shop. Find one near you. Go to comicshoplocator.com. You can also download your comics digitally using the Comixology app. It's available for both iOS and Android marketplaces, or visit your local library. Remember, kids, knowledge is power. So, this is where I normally end the show using a mustache-related pun, but I really want to press to you to send in one of those puns. If you send in a mustache-related pun in my comment section below or email it to me privately, I will ship to you, no matter where you are in the world, a free comic book of your very own. So please remember to submit your mustache-related puns. Until next time, hopefully I'll feel a little bit better. But adios, brochachos. Read some comics.